So most guys completely fumble the bag after getting a girl's Instagram or phone number. They either send a boring hey that gets ignored, or they wait so long that she actually forgets who they are. But today I'm going to show you the exact 4-step system that turns any contact information into an actual date. Starting with a psychological technique that makes her think about you even when you're not texting. I'm Austin from Digital Romeo, and over the past 5 years, I've helped hundreds of professional men go from getting numbers that lead nowhere to consistently dating high quality women they're genuinely excited about. My clients have gone from 0 matches to dating their dream girls, and it all comes down to mastering what happens after you get her contact information. Because here is the brutal truth, and that is getting her Instagram or phone number is just 10% of the battle. What you do next determines whether you'll be another forgotten DM or the guy she's excited to hear from. So today I'm going to show you my exact 4-step dating funnel that transforms contact information into confirmed dates. Now first, let's address the elephant in the room, and that is timing. Because most guys either message immediately like an eager puppy, or they play the game, they wait a little bit too long. Now both approaches are going to kill attraction for different reasons. Now the immediate message says, I have nothing else better to do with my life than sit around waiting for girls to give me their Instagram. And the long delay makes her either think you're probably not interested or you've forgotten about her entirely. So we need to move fast, but we need to move fast strategically. And me personally, I found that the sweet spot is anywhere between 4 to 12 hours after getting her contact information. This is going to show that you have a life, but you're also genuinely interested. Now, what you say in that first message is where most guys completely crash and burn. Now, this is where the callback humor becomes your secret weapon. Instead of sending like a generic, hey, how's your day going? Or anything boring like that, you're instead going to reference something specific from your conversation disguised as a follow-up. Here's what this might look like in practice. So let's say that you met her at a coffee shop, because this can work if you met a girl in person or online. But let's say you met her at a coffee shop and she mentioned for whatever reason that she's obsessed with true crime podcasts. So by that point, your callback message might be something like, hey Sarah, just wanted to make sure that you made it home safely. You know, with all those true crime stories in your head, you're probably suspicious about everyone now, right? So it could say something like that. Or she could even mention that she's terrible at cooking. Not sure why a woman would openly admit this, but let's say, for example, she did. So you might send in this case, hope you didn't burn out your kitchen making dinner tonight a few hours later. Now, this is gonna do 3 psychological things. First, it's gonna show that you were actually listening during your conversation. And second, it creates an instant shared memory that's gonna bond you guys together. And also third, it's gonna position you as someone with a degree of social intelligence who can be playful without being offensive. Now let's move on to this 4-step dating funnel framework, all right? Now step 1 is what I call the comfort sequence. And the comfort sequence is all about making her feel safe and relaxed talking to you. Remember, women get bombarded with all these messages every single day, or even get sexual, and it just makes her really uncomfortable. So your job is to simply be different. After your callback humor opener, you want to have about 3 to 5 exchanges that feel natural and simply build more rapport. Once again, you can ask her about something mentioned during the conversation or the previous conversation that you guys had. So for example, if she said that she was stressed about some work presentation, you could follow up on that. You know, if she mentioned a hobby, you can just simply show some genuine curiosity there. The key is to demonstrate that you're interested in her as a person and not trying to just get in her pants or trying to meet up super fast. So here's an example of what this might look like. So after the callback opener and her response, you could say something like, you know, how did that presentation go today? You seemed pretty nervous about it when we talked. Then when she responds, you build on top of that, you know, relating to that point. Remember, it's your job to lead the conversation. You're the one who's asking questions, ideally asking some degree of open-ended questions, meaning questions that she can't necessarily respond just a yes or a no to. Now within this comfort building phase, one thing that I also love too, and I mentioned this quite a few times, is voice notes. If she met you in person, this is going to be as important because she obviously seen your vibe and seen your voice. But if you did transfer her from a dating app to Instagram or to her phone number, this is a great time to maybe use some voice notes to actually respond to her text. And I have personally found that voice notes kind of make the response that much more easier because it's as if you're replying to her if she's face to face to you in person, versus sometimes translating that into a text can be a little bit more difficult. So me personally, I do like to implement 1 to 2 voice notes within the sequence just so she can catch more of my vibe and more of my personality. Now, step 2 is going to be the quality check. And the quality check is where you make sure that she's actually worth your time and energy before asking her out. Because here is the reality, and that is dating apps and Instagram, they're full of catfish. You know, women might use old pictures, or people just look nothing like their curated online presence. I'm not sure about you, but this has happened to me plenty of times. So essentially what we need to do is to verify what you're working with before committing to an actual in-person date. Now, the most effective way to do this is through a FaceTime call or a phone conversation. Now, I tell all my clients, never go out on a date with somebody who you haven't seen live or at least talked to on the phone. It's gonna save you a lot of time, money, and potential disappointment. And here's how to make this happen very, very naturally. So after the comfort sequence, you would then say, you know, let's hop on a FaceTime call. Are you free for 10 minutes tonight? Like, be very simple, be very straightforward. Or if you're old school and you prefer phone call, just simply ask them like, hey, would you have time to talk on the phone for about 10 minutes? Now, if she hesitates or makes excuses about FaceTime or phone calls, of course, she could be shy, she could be nervous, but more times than not, is usually a sign of a red flag, you know, because she knows deep down that she isn't congruent with how she looks, or she has to make sure that she's fully prepped up, makeup, hair done, the right outfit, the right lighting, and more times than not, that's just gonna be a red flag. Because high quality women who are, you know, genuine about meeting up with someone will usually be very happy to have a quick conversation. So during this call, we need to check for 3 things. 1, obviously, does she look like her photos? 2, can she actually hold a conversation? The worst position that you're gonna be in is on a date and the woman is just awkward and you're not vibing. Because I've been in those situations where you thought she was cool, you thought, you know, attraction will be there, but the truth is she's just awkward and then she's gonna blame it on you. So we don't want that. And then number 3, does her personality actually match the vibe that you're getting from texting? I want you to audit her Instagram during this phase. So now we're gonna move on to step 3, which is the soft close. Now the soft close is where you will test her interest level without fully committing to just asking her out directly. Think of it like dipping your toe in water before fully diving in. This usually involves suggesting a potential activity based on something that you've discussed, but framing it hypothetically. For example, you mentioned that you love sushi or smoothies, whatever it may be. So you might text her something like, I know this amazing hidden spot downtown that doesn't look like much from the outside, but hey, they have the best spicy tuna rolls or the best strawberry smoothies, whatever it may be. You'd probably love it. So with this text, you're not actually asking her out yet, but you're planting the seed and gauging her reaction from there. And if she responds enthusiastically, which hopefully she does, then you know that she's actually interested. And if she gives you like a lukewarm response or changes the subject, you might need to build a little bit more comfort first before going on to the soft close. Now, another soft close example might be, you know, I'm planning to check out this new exhibit or this new activity or going to a certain event this weekend. Seems like something you might be interested in based on what you told me. Once again, we're testing the waters while positioning yourself as someone who pays attention to her interests, and we're doing something in which she could be invited along with us. I found the strategy to be very, very good, especially if you're nervous or even afraid of asking a woman out on a full date. Now, step 4 is going to be the hard close. Now, the hard close is where you actually ask her out, but you do it with confidence and you're very, very direct. So you're not going to be like wishy-washy. For example, you know, would you maybe want to hang out sometime? Or we should probably hang out. Like, that's not what we're going to do. So based on her positive response to your soft close, this is where you might move into something like, you know, let's go check out that sushi place or that smoothie place on Thursday or Saturday evening around 7. Notice the specific day, time and also what you're going to be doing. This is also going to show a bit of leadership, and it makes it easy for her to say yes. We don't want the woman to have to think, she should simply be able to just put herself into your calendar. And if she's genuinely interested in you but can't make that specific time, she'll usually counter with some sort of alternative time, day, or date. And if she's not that interested, she'll either ignore the message or give you a vague, I'm really busy this week, without offering any sort of alternative. And that will be your signal to move on and charge her to the game. Now, the key with the hard close is confidence, and once again, being very specific. You're not going to beg or plead. You're inviting her to join you for something that you already planned on doing. That's how we want to frame it. Now, let me show you the brutal mathematics of getting all this wrong. So let's say that you have 10 Instagram handles or phone numbers per month, which is like pretty average. Now, if you use the typical guy's approach, generic messages, no system, no understanding of female psychology whatsoever, you might convert like 1 out of every 10 into an actual date. That's a 10% conversion rate for those who are hard at math. But if you use this 4-step framework with callback humor and everything we talked about, the conversion rate can jump 40 to 50%. It's the same effort to get the contact information, but now you're getting 4 to 5 dates instead of just 1. And over the course of a year, that's the difference between 12 dates and 48 to 60 dates. I'm not judging you if you're going out on that many dates. I'm just giving you the raw truth here, all right? Now think about what that will mean for your dating life. And instead of going months between quality dates, you could be consistently meeting high quality women who are genuinely excited to spend time with you. Now, some of you guys might be thinking, Austin, this seems like a lot of work just to get a date. And trust me, I get it. But here's what you need to understand, and that is putting in this effort up front will save you a massive amount of time and frustration on the back end. Would you rather send thoughtful, strategic messages to 10 women and go on like 4 to 5 dates? Or would you rather send the lazy hey messages or put in low effort to 50 women and maybe get 1 date from someone who's not even that interested? Now, some other guys might be thinking, what if I'm not naturally funny or even good at callback humor? Guys, the beautiful thing about the system is that humor is learnable. It's actually a skill. And you're not trying to be a comedian. We're not being dancing monkeys around here. You're just being observant and playful about the things she's already told you. This is also why you have to be present in the conversation and try to remember some things. Now guys, if you're ready to stop living your dating life to chance and actually start implementing a full proven system that actually gets results, I want to help you out personally. Click the link down below in the description to apply for my digital Romeo coaching, where I'll personally help you master not just this framework, but everything you need to consistently attract and date a high caliber of women who you actually desire to be with. Because here's the truth, the guys who are successful with women aren't lucky or even naturally gifted. They're the ones who invested in learning what actually works and then implemented it consistently with feedback. So which type of guy are you gonna be today? All right, hopefully this helped out. Once again, click the link down below if you wanna work with me one-on-one to actually implement a full system. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.